Hello children, this video class is an initiative of Shiv Jyoti Educational Group. I am Shravya Vyas and I welcome you all to my class. Today we shall be covering Social Studies chapter 19, Our Rights and Duties part 1. This video is actually the first part. We will do the second part in the next video. In this part, we shall be covering what is a constitution and we shall elaborate on the terms democratic, socialist, secular and republic. Now, let us start with this chapter. Our constitution. Before we start with this chapter, I want all of you to open your textbook page 126. 126, page number 126. Okay. So, before we start with our constitution, we need to know a background prior to our independence. See, what happened was the Britishers ruled over our country for almost 200 years, and at that time, before the independence, our economy, that is the Indian economy, was one of the richest in the world, and after we got the independence and because the Britishers had exploited everything in our country, we were reduced to poverty. And after much struggle with great difficulty, we got our independence from the British rule, and India got its independence from the British on 15th August 1947. And after we got our independence, all the leaders of our country, they got together and they formed the government. And one of the first things our leaders did was to make a set of rules. That is, as soon as the government was formed and it is necessary to make rules to properly govern or rule the country, all our leaders, they made a set of rules based on which the government would run. That is, the government would function properly on the basis of these rules. So, this set of rules is known as our constitution. So, what is constitution? It is the set of rules made by the government so that the people of the country will follow for the proper functioning of our country. And our constitution is the most supreme law of our country. There is nothing bigger than the constitution. And the speciality of our constitution is Indian constitution is the longest constitution in the world. The constitution was accepted on 26 January 1950. So, when was the constitution framed? It was put to effect on 26 January 1950. And who drafted the constitution? That is, who wrote the constitution? It was B.R. Ambedkar who drafted the constitution or who wrote the constitution. So, on this day, that is on 26 January, we celebrate as Republic Day. So, what is the importance of constitution? Prior to the constitution, that is between the time of independence and the constitution, that was on 26 January, that is between 15th August 1947 and 26 January 1950, there was a brief period where we were not completely separated from the British rule. That is, we were still bound by the British rule, and prior to independence, the local people, that is the common people of India, were not endowed with much powers. That is, the people of our country did not have much powers. But once the constitution was framed, the people, the common people of our country were endowed with powers, like they had the power to vote, they had a voice to speak against the leaders. So, it was after the constitution was framed that the common people got powers. So, the guiding principles of our constitution. So, what does it do? What does constitution do? It lays down some important guiding principles that have to be followed by the leaders of our nation. So, what does constitution contains? It contains guidelines, that is it contains guidelines as to the rules that the people have to follow. And who all have to follow these rules? The leaders of our country as well as the common people, that is it is equally to be abided by the leaders as well as the common people of our country. The preamble or introduction to our constitution describes India as a democratic, socialist, secure republic. So, what is a preamble? It is nothing but a brief introductory statement that gives guidelines on the principles of constitution. Matlab, it is a very small introduction about the rules of our constitution which is to be followed by the leaders as well as the common people. So, what all does it tell? What does this preamble tell? It tells about the principles of the constitution, that is what all rules are to be followed, as well as it tells about the source from which these rules have been made. मतलब ये rules कहाँ से बनी है, किसके basis पे बनी है, वो सब ये preamble बताते हैं, ठीक है. And what is preamble? It describes India as a democratic, socialist, secure republic. Now let's study in detail what these terms mean. Democratic. This means that all the people of the country will choose or elect leaders who would form the government. This means the common people, they were given the power to choose their leader or elect the leader. Like we all vote to elect our leader, right? So during election, each and every person of our country, they are supposed to cast their vote. So it is this democratic power that gives the common people the power to choose their leader. A kind of government where people vote to elect leaders who run the country is known as democracy. So what is a democracy? It is a kind of government where the common people, they are given the power to vote or to elect their leader who will actually run the country. So what is happening now? Earlier during the king's time, we were all ruled by the kings. And these kings, they were not elected by us, they were actually hereditary. They got the powers through hereditary, that is their father was kings, their grandfather were kings, and so they are kings, right. The local people or the common people did not have the power to choose their leader. So this democracy gave them the power to choose their leader, and once, let's say, people are not happy with their elected leader, then they can also be removed from their post in the government. Okay. So no longer were the people or country ruled by kings, and the elected leaders can be removed from their post. Now let's come to the next term. It is socialist. Socialist means that all the people in the country will be treated as equals, means the government will treat each and every person as equal. What is equal? Means whether you are from, irrespective of whatever religion you come from, irrespective of whatever caste you have come from, you will all be treated as equals. No special religion or no special caste would be given any special treatment, all are treated equally. Okay, so the government will not differentiate between people on the basis of their caste. What is caste? Like in Hinduism you have Brahmins and you have Vaishnava. Government will not differentiate people on the basis of their caste, religion or in any other way. Whether you are from upper caste or lower caste, it does not matter. All the castes are treated as equal in the eyes of the government. Okay, the principle of treating all the people in a country as equals is known as socialism. So what is socialism? It is the principle or rule of treating all the people in a country as equals, means all are equal in our country. Now let's come to secular. What is secular? Secular means that all the people in the country would be free to follow whatever religion they want. That is, every individual has the freedom to follow whichever religion they want. There would be nobody can force you or nobody can coerce you to follow any particular religion or change your beliefs. This is secularism. The principle where all religions are treated as equals is known as secularism. So in secularism, all religions are treated as equals. Republic. Republic means that a head of state is elected by the people. This is one of the main power that the common people got after the framing of the constitution. So the people of the country, they are given the power to elect their head of state. India is headed by an elected president, unlike Britain, whose head of state is a hereditary monarch. So what is a monarch? Monarch means a king or a queen who is ruling his country or kingdom. That is monarch. So unlike Britain, in Britain the country is headed by the monarch, but because we are a republic country, because India is a republic country, we have the power to elect our head, who is the president. So this concludes with the chapter. I hope the concepts are clear to you. If you have any doubts, we shall discuss in the live doubt class, and these are some of the questions that I want you to try at home, and we shall cover these questions also in the live doubt class. Question 1. When did the Constitution of India come into force? Second, dash means that a head of state is elected by the people. Third, the principle of treating all the people in a country as equals is known as dash. Fourth, dash is a kind of government where people vote to elect leaders who run the country. Fifth, the principle where all religions are treated as equal is known as dash. So thank you students for attending the class. I hope you enjoyed the class.